The ABC. Good morning. Bill Thompson for Outside Insiders, Senator Dastyari. I didn't hear anything that went on. Did Barry ask about the brothers in Sydney who have been arrested over allegations of rorting the childcare system?
No, he actually didn't. I mean, look, in fairness, there was quite a few topics to get to, and you've only got about 6 or 8 minutes, so I'm not sure if that was on his list. But we went through Nauru, situation in Nauru. We spoke about Banking Royal Commission. We spoke about the census, and then spoke about One Nation.
Look, on the census, I'm one of the 2 million people apparently who was able to successfully navigate the system about 6:45 without a hitch. I might comment that whenever the government tries to do things, there's always a risk of problems. In America, there was the healthcare.gov site that accompanied the start of the Obamacare thing, which was an absolute disaster. They eventually got it up and running, but the government can often screw things up. Now, on the subject of this alleged rorting of the healthcare, of the childcare system.
It sounds quite serious.
There's a suggestion that monies may have gone overseas to fund terrorism. Now, I believe I've seen you associated with some of the Economics Committee's hearings into the Mossack Fonseca issues. Now, I'm a retired tax officer, and I've been vocal in criticising the tax office and other agencies for not making greater use of AUSTRAC information in tracing overseas fund transfers. Now, one thing that concerns me in relation to this particular allegation is that I'm aware of something called Islamic finance, which in some circumstances I understand can be used to circumvent the AUSTRAC monitoring system. Do you have any knowledge of that?
Look, I'll be honest, if you're trying to find a back channel to fund terrorist activity, I would suppose, and again, my information here is fairly limited, that using Islamic finance to do that is probably not the most discreet way. What you end up finding, which becomes the trouble for AUSTRAC, and this is where it gets difficult, there will be, the initial transaction isn't to Syria or wherever the money's going. Right. Yes. There's a legitimate transaction in the middle there, and the money goes missing. So the money will go to, say, another nation, and then from there it will go to a low tax or low information jurisdiction. Right. I'm talking about your Panamas, your British Virgin Islands, your Bermudas, these kind of places where there is less information. And then from there, through accounts, it goes to, a terrorist or whatever kind of organisation. The money flow, and this is what makes it hard for the Australian authorities to give them some credit, is it obviously doesn't flow straight. Now, again, I don't know about the specifics of this case. I would think that if you're going to try and steal wrought money and take it for nefarious terrorist activities, Islamic financing would probably be the first place you'd expect an agency would look. But then again, I don't know the specifics of this case.
Oh, okay.
Mate, now I've got to catch up, mate. Thank you.
I did see where you suggested that core Labor values align with core Islamic social values. Of course, I assume you're not referring to throwing gays off rooftops and stoning adulterers and that sort of thing.
This is something that got taken completely out of context.
Okay.
I made a broad speech in which I talked about religious liberty and the fact that there is commonality amongst all of us, and looking at that across a series of faiths.
Mate, anyway, thank you for your time. Much appreciated.